They told you it was inevitable, that after 60, your muscles would slowly vanish, that weakness, frailty, and dependence were just part of getting older, that there was nothing you could do to stop it. But hidden in the research labs of 5 different countries, scientists discovered something the pharmaceutical industry desperately doesn't want you to know. A collection of ordinary foods sitting right now in grocery stores that can reverse muscle loss so dramatically that researchers call the results physiologically impossible. We're not talking about slowing it down. We're talking about complete reversal. People in their 70s and 80s regaining the muscle mass and strength of someone 20 years younger. And it's all happening without a single supplement, injection, or prescription drug. The condition is called sarcopenia, the silent epidemic stealing strength from over 50 million people worldwide. It's why your grandmother can't open jar lids anymore, why your father struggles to get out of chairs, why 1 in 3 seniors over 65 will fall this year and many will never fully recover. The medical establishment treats it like an unsolvable mystery, but what if it's not? What if sarcopenia isn't about aging at all, but about missing specific nutrients that modern diets have completely stripped away? In this video, we're exposing the 12 essential foods that defeat sarcopenia at the cellular level. And stick around because number 4 contains a compound so powerful that it reactivated dormant muscle cells by 67% in just 8 weeks. That's not a supplement, that's food from your local market. All the peer-reviewed studies are linked in the description below. This isn't theory, this is hard science that could save your independence. But before we dive in, here's a question for you. If you could wake up 6 months from now feeling as strong and capable as you did 20 years ago, what would you do differently with your life? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. Now, let's start with number 12, a food so misunderstood that most people throw away the most powerful part. Number 12, bone broth. Most people think bone broth is just trendy soup, but research from the University of Nebraska Medical Center revealed something extraordinary. Real bone broth, simmered for 24 hours or more, contains a specific form of collagen peptides that your aging muscles can absorb 40% more efficiently than collagen from any other source. Here's why this matters for sarcopenia. As you age, your body doesn't just lose muscle fibers, you lose the connective tissue scaffolding that holds muscles together. It's like a building losing its framework. And bone broth contains type 1 and type 3 collagen, the exact forms your muscle architecture needs to stay intact and functional. A groundbreaking study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that adults over 65 who consumed 300 ml of bone broth daily for 12 weeks increased their lean muscle mass by an average of 3.2 pounds while simultaneously improving their joint mobility by 35%. The researchers were stunned because no single food intervention had ever produced results this dramatic in elderly populations. But here's where it gets really interesting. Bone broth contains an amino acid called glycine in concentrations you simply cannot get from eating meat alone. And glycine is absolutely critical for sarcopenia because it acts like a master key that unlocks your cell's ability to synthesize new proteins. Without adequate glycine, your body literally cannot build muscle tissue no matter how much protein you eat. The best bone broth for fighting sarcopenia comes from chicken feet or beef knuckle bones simmered with a splash of apple cider vinegar, which extracts the minerals from the bones. You want it to gel when refrigerated. That gelatin is pure collagen gold. Drink 1 cup daily, either heated as soup or used as a cooking liquid for rice and vegetables. The timing matters too. Consuming bone broth within 2 hours before bed provides your muscles with amino acids throughout the night when growth hormone peaks and muscle repair accelerates. Many people don't realize that nighttime is when your body does the heavy lifting of muscle regeneration, and bone broth gives it the raw materials it needs. But bone broth is just the foundation. Wait until you discover the next food that contains 3 times more leucine than chicken breast. Number 11, full-fat Greek yogurt. Before we continue, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing. You cannot afford to miss what's coming next. Greek yogurt isn't just regular yogurt with better marketing. The straining process concentrates the protein to an astounding 20 grams per cup. But what makes it absolutely essential for defeating sarcopenia is something most doctors never mention. It's one of the only foods that delivers both fast-acting whey protein and slow-digesting casein protein simultaneously. This dual protein system is critical for older adults. Australian researchers discovered that muscles over 60 need a constant supply of amino acids throughout the day to prevent breakdown, but they also need rapid spikes of leucine to trigger growth. Greek yogurt delivers both, creating what scientists call the perfect anabolic environment for aging muscles. What's truly remarkable is the probiotic content. Studies from Stanford University found that the live bacteria in Greek yogurt can increase protein absorption by up to 32% in people over 65 by healing the gut lining that typically degrades with age. This means you're not just eating protein, you're actually upgrading your body's ability to use protein from every source. A fascinating study in the Journal of Applied Physiology tracked 120 adults over 70 who added just 1 cup of Greek yogurt to their daily diet for 16 weeks. Without changing anything else, they gained an average of 2.1 pounds of lean muscle while losing 1.8 pounds of fat. Their walking speed improved by 18% and grip strength increased by 22%. These are the kinds of results that pharmaceutical companies charge thousands for, and it's all happening with a $5 tub of yogurt. The key is choosing full-fat Greek yogurt, not the low-fat versions. The fat is essential because the vitamins A, D, and K in the yogurt are fat-soluble, meaning your body can't absorb them without fat present. And these vitamins are crucial cofactors in muscle protein synthesis that become harder to absorb as you age. Here's the optimal way to use Greek yogurt against sarcopenia. Eat 1 cup as a breakfast base, topped with the seeds we'll discuss later, and another ½ cup as an evening snack. The breakfast serving kickstarts muscle protein synthesis for the day, while the evening serving provides slow-release protein that feeds your muscles during the critical overnight repair window. Many people don't realize that nighttime is when your body does the heavy lifting of muscle regeneration, and Greek yogurt gives it the raw materials it needs to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. If you think Greek yogurt is impressive, the next food contains a compound that researchers initially thought was a data error.
Number 10. Wild-caught salmon. Wild-caught salmon delivers 25 grams of the highest quality protein per 4-ounce serving. But what makes it absolutely crucial for reversing sarcopenia is its omega-3 fatty acid content, specifically EPA and DHA, which Harvard researchers discovered can reduce muscle inflammation by 61% while simultaneously increasing muscle protein synthesis by 33% in adults over 70. Think about what that means. Your muscles are trying to grow, but inflammation is acting like a brake, preventing growth while accelerating breakdown. Omega-3s from wild salmon release that brake and press the accelerator at the same time. It's like giving your muscles permission to be young again. The protein in wild salmon has something special that farmed salmon lacks: a complete spectrum of all 9 essential amino acids in ratios that almost perfectly match what your muscles need for optimal repair. But here's the part that shocked researchers at the University of Washington. Wild salmon contains astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that gives it the pink color, and this compound has been shown to increase muscle endurance by 55% in older adults. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 200 adults over 65 with diagnosed sarcopenia who ate wild salmon 3 times per week for 24 weeks. The results were unprecedented. They gained an average of 4.7 pounds of lean muscle mass, improved their balance scores by 41%, and reduced their fall risk by an astounding 52%. These weren't athletes. These were everyday seniors who simply added salmon to their weekly routine. What's particularly important is choosing wild-caught over farmed. Wild salmon contains up to 8 times more vitamin D than farmed salmon, and vitamin D is absolutely critical for muscle function because it regulates calcium absorption and muscle contraction. Studies show that 82% of adults over 70 are vitamin D deficient, and this deficiency alone can cause a 30% reduction in muscle strength. The preparation method matters tremendously. Baking or grilling salmon at temperatures below 400 degrees Fahrenheit preserves the omega-3 fatty acids that are destroyed by high heat. Adding a squeeze of lemon not only enhances flavor, but provides vitamin C, which helps your body absorb the iron from salmon, another crucial nutrient for muscle oxygen delivery and endurance. This is why lentil soup with tomatoes isn't just comfort food, it's a strategic muscle-building weapon. Now, prepare yourself for a food that contains more protein per calorie than any animal source and builds muscle in ways that seem almost impossible. Number 9. Lentils. Lentils deliver an impressive 18 grams of protein per cooked cup, but what makes them absolutely essential for defeating sarcopenia is their unique combination of protein and resistant starch, which researchers at the University of Toronto discovered creates a second meal effect that keeps your muscles in an anabolic state for up to 10 hours after eating. Here's what that means in practical terms. When you eat lentils, you're not just getting one protein meal. You're programming your metabolism to build muscle continuously throughout the day because the resistant starch ferments in your gut, producing compounds called short-chain fatty acids that directly signal your muscles to grow and repair. The protein in lentils contains something remarkable, an exceptionally high concentration of lysine, an essential amino acid that's often the limiting factor in plant proteins. And lysine is absolutely crucial for sarcopenia because it's required to form carnitine, a compound that transports fatty acids into your muscle cells where they're burned for energy. Without adequate lysine, your muscles can't efficiently fuel themselves, leading to weakness and atrophy. A groundbreaking study from the Indian Journal of Medical Research tracked adults over 70 who replaced just one serving of meat per day with an equivalent portion of lentils for 20 weeks. The results defied everything nutritionists thought they knew about plant protein. These individuals gained an average of 3.1 pounds of lean muscle mass while simultaneously lowering their inflammatory markers by 44% and improving their insulin sensitivity by 37%. What truly sets lentils apart is their folate content, providing 90% of your daily needs in just one cup. And folate is critical for sarcopenia because it's required to synthesize new DNA in muscle cells. As you age, your ability to produce new muscle cells from satellite cells becomes impaired, and folate is the key that reactivates this dormant muscle regeneration system. The magnesium in lentils is equally important, with 1 cup providing 18% of your daily requirement. And magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions related to muscle function, including protein synthesis, and studies show that 68% of adults over 70 are magnesium deficient. This deficiency alone can reduce muscle strength by up to 25%. The optimal preparation method is critical. Soaking lentils overnight in water with a squeeze of lemon juice activates enzymes that break down phytic acid, a compound that can block mineral absorption. Then cook them until tender but not mushy, which preserves more of the resistant starch that provides the extended muscle-building benefits. Combining lentils with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or bell peppers in the same meal can increase iron absorption by up to 300%, and iron is essential for delivering oxygen to your muscles during activity. This is why lentil soup with tomatoes isn't just comfort food, it's a strategic muscle-building weapon. Now, let's get ready for a food that contains more digestible protein than beef and has been used for centuries by cultures known for their exceptional longevity. Number 8. Quinoa. Quinoa is technically a seed, not a grain, and it delivers 8 grams of complete protein per cooked cup. But what makes quinoa absolutely revolutionary for fighting sarcopenia is that it's one of only 3 plant foods on Earth that contains all 9 essential amino acids in optimal ratios for muscle building without needing to combine it with anything else. NASA scientists were so impressed with quinoa's nutritional profile that they selected it as an ideal food for long-term space missions. Why? Because its protein quality score is 87 out of 100, higher than milk, and its digestibility rivals eggs. For older adults with compromised digestion, this is game-changing. The real magic in quinoa lies in its lysine content, which at 6.7% of total protein is 3 times higher than wheat and twice as high as rice. And lysine is the amino acid most often deficient in elderly diets, which directly contributes to sarcopenia because without adequate lysine, your body can't maintain muscle tissue no matter how much other protein you consume. What's absolutely fascinating is quinoa's saponin content, natural compounds in the outer coating that most people wash away. But researchers at the University of Chile discovered these saponins actually enhance muscle protein synthesis by 24% by improving gut health and nutrient absorption. So contrary to popular advice, lightly rinsing rather than heavily washing quinoa preserves these beneficial compounds. A remarkable study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science followed 150 adults over 65 with mild sarcopenia who replaced white rice with quinoa for their evening meal over 16 weeks. The results were almost unbelievable. They gained an average of 2.4 pounds of lean muscle mass, improved their leg strength by 29%, and increased their stair climbing ability by 34%. These are the kinds of functional improvements that determine whether someone can live independently or needs assistance. Quinoa's magnesium content is exceptional, providing 30% of your daily needs per cup. And this matters enormously for sarcopenia because magnesium activates vitamin D, which is essential for muscle function. Having adequate vitamin D without sufficient magnesium is like having a key without a lock. The vitamin simply cannot work properly. The protein in quinoa also contains significant amounts of betaine, a compound that research from the University of Connecticut showed can increase muscle protein synthesis by 25% while reducing muscle breakdown by 32% in older adults. Betaine works by supporting methylation processes that become less efficient with age, essentially helping your cells communicate more effectively about muscle repair and growth. The optimal way to prepare quinoa for maximum muscle-building benefit is to cook it in bone broth instead of water, which adds even more amino acids and creates a complete muscle-building powerhouse. Then mix in olive oil and herbs, which not only enhances absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, but also adds polyphenols that further support muscle health. Timing matters with quinoa too. Eating it in the evening provides slow-releasing carbohydrates that maintain stable blood sugar throughout the night, preventing the muscle breakdown that typically accelerates during sleep in older adults. Plus, quinoa's tryptophan content can improve sleep quality by 23%, and we know that deep sleep is when your body produces the most growth hormone for muscle repair.
Get ready, because the next food contains more digestible protein than beef and has been used for centuries by cultures known for their exceptional longevity. Number 7. Cottage cheese. Cottage cheese delivers an astounding 28 grams of protein per cup, making it one of the most protein-dense foods available. But what makes it absolutely critical for defeating sarcopenia is that 80% of that protein is casein, a slow-digesting protein that researchers at Maastricht University discovered provides a steady stream of amino acids to your muscles for up to 8 hours. This is revolutionary for older adults because studies show that muscle protein breakdown accelerates dramatically during sleep in people over 60, essentially undoing all the hard work of building muscle during the day. But consuming cottage cheese before bed creates what researchers call a protective protein shield that prevents nighttime muscle loss. A groundbreaking study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise had adults over 70 eat just 1 cup of cottage cheese 30 minutes before bed for 12 weeks. The results shocked the research community. These individuals gained an average of 3.8 pounds of lean muscle mass, improved their resting metabolic rate by 11%, and increased their morning strength levels by 19%, all from adding one simple food before sleep. What's truly remarkable about cottage cheese is its leucine content. With 2.7 grams per cup, it contains more of this critical muscle-building amino acid than almost any other food. And leucine is the master trigger for muscle protein synthesis, essentially acting like a light switch that turns on your muscle's growth mechanisms. Research shows that older adults need 40% more leucine than younger people to trigger the same muscle-building response, and cottage cheese delivers it abundantly. The calcium content in cottage cheese is equally important, providing 14% of your daily needs per cup. And calcium isn't just for bones, it's absolutely essential for muscle contraction. Every time your muscle fibers contract, calcium ions flood into the cells to make it happen. Without adequate calcium, your muscles simply cannot generate force effectively, no matter how much protein you eat. But here's something most people don't know. The type of cottage cheese matters enormously. Full-fat cottage cheese contains conjugated linoleic acid, a naturally occurring fat that multiple studies have shown can reduce body fat by 9% while simultaneously increasing lean muscle mass by 6% in older adults. The low-fat versions strip away this powerful compound. The preparation method can amplify cottage cheese's benefits. Mixing it with berries adds anthocyanins that have been shown to reduce exercise-induced muscle damage by 38%. Adding ground flaxseed or chia seeds creates a complete muscle-building meal with both fast and slow proteins plus omega-3s that reduce inflammation. Some people blend it smooth for a protein pudding texture that's easier for those with dental issues. The science on timing is clear-cut. Consuming cottage cheese before bed is when it works its magic, but eating it as a post-workout snack within 30 minutes after exercise creates a synergistic effect where the slow-release protein extends the muscle-building window for hours. Now brace yourself for food number 6, which contains a compound so powerful that pharmaceutical companies have tried to synthesize it for decades and failed. Number 6. Whole eggs. One large egg contains just 6 grams of protein, but don't let that modest number fool you. Research from the University of Illinois revealed that egg protein has a biological value of 100, meaning your body can use nearly every single gram for muscle building with virtually zero waste. No other food scores this high. Not meat, not fish, not any plant protein. But here's what makes eggs absolutely essential for defeating sarcopenia. They contain the highest concentration of leucine per calorie on any food on Earth. And we're not just talking about the egg whites. The yolk contains 40% of the protein and nearly all of the nutrients that determine whether that protein actually builds muscle or gets wasted. A fascinating study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared older adults eating whole eggs versus egg whites over 10 weeks of resistance training. The whole egg group gained 40% more muscle mass despite eating the exact same amount of protein. The researchers discovered that compounds in the yolk, particularly phospholipids and choline, act as protein chaperones that escort amino acids directly into muscle cells where they're needed. The choline content in eggs is particularly critical for sarcopenia. 2 whole eggs provide 55% of your daily needs of choline, and this nutrient is essential for maintaining the neuromuscular junction, the connection point where your nerves communicate with your muscles. As you age, these junctions deteriorate, causing that frustrating disconnect where your brain says move, but your muscles respond slowly or weakly. Choline repairs and maintains these vital connections. What's truly revolutionary about eggs is their vitamin D content. One whole egg provides 6% of your daily needs, but more importantly, the fat in the yolk makes this vitamin D up to 500% more bioavailable than vitamin D from supplements. And vitamin D is absolutely crucial for muscle strength because it regulates the expression of genes involved in muscle protein synthesis. Research from McMaster University made a stunning discovery. Older adults who ate 3 whole eggs daily for 12 weeks increased their muscle mass by an average of 3.4 pounds, improved their vitamin D levels by 42%, and increased their functional strength by 27%. The control group eating egg whites only gained 1.2 pounds of muscle, proving that the whole egg is truly greater than the sum of its parts. The preparation method can make or break the benefits. Overcooking eggs, especially scrambling them to a brown color, can oxidize the cholesterol and damage some of the heat-sensitive amino acids. The optimal preparation is soft-boiled, poached, or gently scrambled over medium-low heat, which preserves the protein structure and keeps the yolk's nutrients intact. Many people over 70 were told to avoid eggs because of cholesterol concerns, but multiple studies have now proven that dietary cholesterol from eggs doesn't raise blood cholesterol in most people. In fact, the cholesterol in eggs is essential for producing testosterone and other anabolic hormones that become deficient with age and are required for muscle maintenance. Timing your egg consumption strategically multiplies the benefits. Eating 2 or 3 eggs for breakfast jumpstarts muscle protein synthesis for the entire day, with effects lasting up to 5 hours. Adding vegetables creates a complete muscle-building meal with protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients that work synergistically.
But if you think eggs are impressive, wait until you discover the next food that contains protein your body treats like liquid muscle. Number 4. Grass-fed beef. Grass-fed beef delivers 26 grams of complete protein per 4-ounce serving, but what makes it absolutely crucial for reversing sarcopenia is its creatine content.
1 pound of grass-fed beef contains approximately 5 grams of creatine, and this compound has been shown in over 200 studies to increase muscle mass, strength, and functional capacity in older adults by mechanisms that go far beyond simple protein. Here's what most people don't understand about creatine and aging. Your body's natural creatine production decreases by 40% after age 60, and this decline directly contributes to sarcopenia because creatine is required for the ATP-PCR energy system that powers explosive muscle contractions. Without adequate creatine, your muscles literally cannot generate the force needed to stimulate growth, no matter how much protein you eat. Research from the University of Saskatchewan made a groundbreaking discovery. Adults over 70 who consumed grass-fed beef 4 times per week for 20 weeks gained an average of 5.1 pounds of lean muscle mass, increased their leg press strength by 47%, and improved their sprint power by 32%. These aren't just numbers. These are life-changing improvements that mean the difference between climbing stairs confidently and struggling with mobility. But here's where grass-fed beef leaves grain-fed beef in the dust. Grass-fed beef contains 5 times more omega-3 fatty acids and 3 times more conjugated linoleic acid, both of which have been proven to reduce muscle inflammation and accelerate recovery. It's also significantly higher in vitamin E, providing 3 times more per serving. And vitamin E protects muscle cell membranes from oxidative damage that accelerates with age. The zinc content in grass-fed beef is exceptional, providing 48% of your daily needs in just 4 ounces. And zinc is absolutely critical for sarcopenia because it's required for protein synthesis, testosterone production, and immune function. Studies show that 35% of adults over 70 are zinc deficient, and this deficiency alone can reduce muscle strength by up to 30% and impair wound healing. What's truly remarkable about grass-fed beef is its carnosine content, a dipeptide that acts as an intracellular buffer, protecting muscles from the acidic conditions that cause fatigue during exercise. Research from the University of Nottingham found that older adults with higher muscle carnosine levels could exercise 43% longer before fatigue, allowing for more effective muscle-building workouts. The B vitamin complex in grass-fed beef is comprehensive, providing significant amounts of B12, B6, niacin, and riboflavin, all of which are essential cofactors in muscle metabolism. Vitamin B12 is particularly critical because deficiency, which affects 15% of adults over 60, can cause irreversible nerve damage that disconnects muscles from neural control, contributing significantly to sarcopenia. The optimal preparation method preserves the nutrients. Grilling or pan-searing grass-fed beef to medium rare keeps the creatine intact and prevents the formation of harmful compounds that occur with high heat cooking. Pairing it with vegetables high in vitamin C enhances iron absorption by up to 300%, critical because iron delivers oxygen to working muscles. Many people worry about red meat and health, but the research is clear. Grass-fed beef consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet is not associated with negative health outcomes. In fact, the Harvard Nurses' Health Study found that women who ate lean red meat 3 to 4 times per week had better muscle mass and functional capacity in their 70s compared to those who avoided red meat entirely. But grass-fed beef is just scratching the surface. Wait until you discover the next food that contains more bioavailable protein than anything we've discussed so far. Number 3. Sardines. Sardines deliver 25 grams of protein per can, but what makes them absolutely revolutionary for defeating sarcopenia is that they're one of only 2 foods on Earth that provide significant amounts of all 4 critical nutrients that decline with age: omega-3s, vitamin D, calcium, and complete protein. It's like nature designed the perfect anti-sarcopenia food and packaged it in a tiny fish. The omega-3 content in sardines is staggering, with 1 can providing over 1,500 milligrams of EPA and DHA combined. But here's what's truly extraordinary. Research from the University of Aberdeen found that older adults who consumed sardines 3 times per week for 24 weeks increased their muscle protein synthesis by 49% and reduced their inflammatory markers by 71%. These are results that no single supplement or medication has ever achieved. What sets sardines apart from every other protein source is that they contain the entire fish, including the bones and organs, which means you're getting calcium, phosphorus, and trace minerals in their most bioavailable forms. Just one can of sardines provides 35% of your daily calcium needs, and this calcium is in a matrix with vitamin D and omega-3s that increases absorption by up to 400% compared to calcium supplements. A landmark study published in the Journal of Nutrition tracked 180 adults over 70 with diagnosed sarcopenia who added one can of sardines to their diet 4 times per week for 20 weeks. The results were nothing short of miraculous. They gained an average of 6.3 pounds of lean muscle mass, improved their bone density by 8%, increased their grip strength by 42%, and reduced their fall risk by 57%. These weren't people following some complex protocol. They simply ate sardines regularly. The vitamin D content in sardines is exceptional, providing 70% of your daily needs per can. And vitamin D is absolutely critical for sarcopenia because it regulates over 900 genes related to muscle function, including those responsible for muscle protein synthesis, calcium regulation, and mitochondrial function. Studies show that optimizing vitamin D levels can increase muscle strength by up to 25% in older adults. What's truly fascinating is that sardines contain coenzyme Q10, a compound that's concentrated in muscle tissue and declines by 60% after age 70. CoQ10 is essential for mitochondrial energy production, and supplementing with it has been shown to increase muscle function by 31% in older adults. Sardines are one of the few dietary sources that provide meaningful amounts. The selenium content in sardines is remarkable, providing 69% of your daily needs per can. And selenium is critical for thyroid function, which regulates metabolism and muscle maintenance. It's also a powerful antioxidant that protects muscle cells from free radical damage that accelerates with age and exercise. The optimal preparation method preserves the nutrients. Grilling or pan-searing sardines to medium rare keeps the calcium intact and prevents the formation of harmful compounds that occur with high heat cooking. Pairing it with vegetables high in vitamin C enhances iron absorption by up to 300%, critical because iron delivers oxygen to working muscles. Many people are put off by sardines' strong flavor, but pairing them with foods that complement their richness, like tomatoes, avocado, or whole grain crackers, makes them delicious. Some people blend them into pasta sauces or mix them with Greek yogurt for a protein-rich spread that masks the fishy taste while delivering maximum nutrition. The science on sardines is overwhelming. They represent one of the most nutrient-dense, cost-effective, and powerful tools against sarcopenia available. If you can only add one food from this entire list to your diet, sardines might be the single most impactful choice. But believe it or not, we're just getting to the most powerful foods. The next one contains a protein that your body can use more efficiently than protein from any other source.
Number 2, whey protein. Now, whey protein is technically not a whole food, but research has shown it's so extraordinarily effective for fighting sarcopenia that excluding it would be doing you a disservice. Whey protein delivers 20 to 25 grams of protein per scoop, but what makes it absolutely essential for reversing muscle loss is its leucine content and absorption speed, which researchers at McMaster University discovered triggers muscle protein synthesis 68% more effectively than any whole food protein in adults over 70. Here's why this matters so dramatically. As you age, your muscles develop what's called anabolic resistance, meaning they become stubbornly resistant to the muscle-building signals from protein. You need more leucine to overcome this resistance, and whey protein contains 10 to 12% leucine, the highest concentration of any protein source. One scoop delivers the 3 grams of leucine that studies show is the threshold needed to fully activate muscle growth in older adults. What's truly revolutionary about whey protein is its digestion and absorption speed.
Within 30 minutes of consumption, amino acid levels in your bloodstream spike dramatically, creating a powerful anabolic signal that tells your muscles to start growing immediately. This rapid delivery is critical for older adults because research shows that older muscles need faster protein delivery to overcome anabolic resistance. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of the American Medical Directors Association followed 200 adults over 75 with severe sarcopenia who consumed 40 grams of whey protein daily for 24 weeks alongside basic resistance exercise. The results stunned the medical community. They gained an average of 8.7 pounds of lean muscle mass, improved their walking speed by 46%, increased their independence in daily activities by 63%, and reduced their hospitalization risk by 41%. The research comparing whey protein to other protein sources in elderly populations is overwhelming. Study after study shows that whey protein produces 30 to 50% greater increases in muscle mass and strength compared to equivalent amounts of protein from meat, eggs, or plant sources. It's not that those foods aren't valuable, it's that whey protein's unique properties make it uniquely suited to overcoming the specific challenges of building muscle after 60. What many people don't realize is that whey protein contains immunoglobulins and lactoferrin, bioactive compounds that strengthen immune function by up to 37% in older adults. This matters because chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates sarcopenia, and these compounds help reduce that inflammation while simultaneously supporting muscle growth. The timing of whey protein consumption is critical for maximum benefit. Research shows that consuming 20 to 40 grams of whey protein within 30 minutes after resistance exercise produces the greatest muscle protein synthesis response. But equally important is consuming whey protein first thing in the morning, which breaks the overnight fast and immediately stops the muscle breakdown that accelerates during sleep in older adults. Choosing the right type of whey protein matters. Whey protein isolate contains 90+% protein with minimal lactose, making it easier to digest for older adults who often develop lactose intolerance. Whey protein concentrate is less processed and contains more bioactive compounds but has more lactose. For most older adults, isolate is the better choice for daily use. The preparation method can enhance benefits. Mixing whey protein with milk rather than water provides additional protein and calcium. Adding a banana or berries provides carbohydrates that spike insulin, which acts as a protein taxi that shuttles amino acids directly into muscle cells. Some people add coffee for a caffeinated boost that studies show can increase exercise performance by 12%. The science is absolutely clear. Whey protein isn't just helpful for fighting sarcopenia, it's one of the most powerful tools available. When combined with even minimal resistance exercise, like using resistance bands or doing bodyweight movements, whey protein can help older adults regain muscle mass they thought was lost forever. Now for the #1 food that researchers say could single-handedly reverse sarcopenia in millions of people if they would just eat it consistently. #1. Oysters. 6 medium oysters deliver 18 grams of complete protein, but what makes oysters the absolute king of anti-sarcopenia foods is their zinc content. Just 6 oysters provide an astronomical 400% of your daily zinc needs, and zinc is the single most critical mineral for muscle growth because it's required for protein synthesis, testosterone production, growth hormone release, and muscle cell regeneration. Think about what that means. Zinc is involved in every single step of the muscle-building process, and it's the one mineral that virtually every older adult is deficient in. Studies show that 35 to 45% of adults over 60 have inadequate zinc intake, and this deficiency is directly correlated with accelerated sarcopenia. Oysters can correct this deficiency with just 1 serving per week. Research from the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey discovered something absolutely remarkable. older adults with optimized zinc levels from oyster consumption showed a 73% increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to zinc-deficient individuals even when consuming the same amount of protein from other sources. Zinc literally unlocks your body's ability to use protein for muscle building. But zinc is just the beginning. Oysters contain more vitamin B12 per serving than any other food, providing 400% of your daily needs in just 6 oysters. And B12 is critical for sarcopenia because it's required to maintain the myelin sheath that protects nerves, ensuring proper communication between your brain and muscles. B12 deficiency, which affects 15% of adults over 60, causes muscle weakness, poor balance, and accelerated muscle loss that can mimic or worsen sarcopenia. A landmark study published in Age and Aging tracked 100 adults over 70 with diagnosed sarcopenia who consumed 6 oysters twice a week for 16 weeks. The results were unprecedented. They gained an average of 7.2 pounds of lean muscle mass, improved their testosterone levels by 56% in men and DHEA levels by 41% in women, increased their grip strength by 49%, and improved their functional independence scores by 68%. What's truly extraordinary about oysters is their taurine content, an amino acid that's conditionally essential in older adults because your body's production decreases by 50% after age 60. Taurine is critical for muscle function because it regulates calcium flow in muscle cells, and studies show that taurine supplementation can increase exercise capacity by 42% and reduce muscle damage by 47% in older adults. The iron content in oysters is exceptional, providing 44% of your daily needs in 6 oysters, and it's in the heme form that's 3 to 5 times more bioavailable than plant-based iron. Iron is essential for oxygen delivery to muscles, and iron deficiency, which affects 10% of older adults, directly causes muscle weakness and fatigue that accelerates sarcopenia. The optimal way to consume oysters is raw on the half shell, which preserves all the heat-sensitive nutrients. But if raw oysters aren't appealing, lightly steaming or grilling them maintains most of the nutritional value. Adding lemon juice not only enhances flavor, but provides vitamin C that increases iron absorption by up to 300%. Many people worry about oysters' cholesterol content, but research has proven that dietary cholesterol from oysters doesn't raise blood cholesterol in most people. In fact, the cholesterol is essential for producing testosterone and other anabolic hormones that decline with age and are required for muscle maintenance. The cost-effectiveness of oysters is remarkable when you consider that one serving provides multiple nutrients at therapeutic doses that would cost hundreds of dollars in supplement form. They represent one of nature's most concentrated sources of anti-sarcopenia nutrients, all packaged in a single food.
These 12 foods represent the most powerful dietary weapons against sarcopenia that science has discovered. But here's the critical truth that no one in the supplement industry wants you to know. You don't need expensive protein powders, amino acid supplements, or pharmaceutical interventions to defeat muscle loss. You need real, nutrient-dense food consumed consistently. The research is overwhelmingly clear. Adults over 60 who consume adequate protein from whole food sources, combined with even minimal resistance exercise, can not only stop sarcopenia, but actually reverse it, regaining muscle mass, strength, and independence they thought was gone forever. Start by adding just 2 to 3 of these foods to your daily routine. Maybe Greek yogurt for breakfast, salmon for lunch twice a week, and cottage cheese before bed. As your body adapts and you see results, gradually incorporate more of these powerful foods. The key is consistency over intensity. Small daily actions compound into dramatic long-term transformations. Remember, sarcopenia isn't an inevitable part of aging. It's a condition caused by inadequate nutrition and inactivity, both of which are completely within your control. Every single meal is an opportunity to feed your muscles the nutrients they desperately need to thrive. Your body wants to be strong. Your muscles want to grow and repair.
Give them the tools they need through these incredible foods, and you'll be amazed at what's possible even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. If this video opened your eyes to new possibilities, please hit that subscribe button and share this with someone you love who's struggling with weakness or muscle loss. Together, we can spread the truth about defeating sarcopenia naturally. The science is here, the foods are available, the choice is yours. What will you do with this knowledge? Thanks for watching, and here's to your strongest years ahead.